point is, America is back. You can see right that America is back thanks to President Trump. We want to celebrate it. Corporations like Budweiser, they've gotten the message. It's time for the NFL, the Olympics to get it as well. And that's the big take. So let's bring in South Carolina Congresswoman and gubernatorial candidate, our friend Nancy Mace. Congresswoman, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Are you ready to celebrate America again or what? Because I'm struggling to understand why the NFL and these Olympians can't do it.
Well, as Republicans, we celebrate America every single day. And in fact, if you're a candidate for office and you go door knocking, you know that the doors with American flags on them when you're out there in the field are almost always Republican, because we love our country and we love the people who built it. And so I'm very proud to be an American, like President Trump and every other Republican serving in our country today.
And something that a lot of President Trump's voters, as you know, you've been leading the charge, as I said at the top, want is transparency, at least in the Epstein files. Let the chips fall where they may. DOJ now allowing lawmakers like you to review unredacted versions of the Epstein files. You've been asking folks on X, along with Thomas Massey, to weigh in on which portions they want to hear about. What are you hearing from your constituents, real Americans? Have you reviewed some of these materials? Are you going to go? What do you want to know?
I will be going to and visiting the DOJ this week to look up and review unredacted documents. Folks in South Carolina want to know more information potentially about businesses with ties to Epstein across the state of South Carolina. There are also at least one victim, maybe more, that reside in South Carolina. So getting to the bottom of that. But one of the things that I am very much interested in, the number one document that I want to review is a court document that goes into and is redacted, fully redacted, about co-conspirators. I want to know who was investigated, and I want to know why they're not in jail. That's my number one.
All right, and we want those answers as well, and we hope you'll come back. Someone who's in jail right now is Ghislaine Maxwell. She sat for a closed-door virtual deposition, as you know, with the House Oversight Committee this morning. It ended after less than an hour with her pleading the fifth against self-incrimination. Another stonewall. What do you think should be next steps for the Congress? How do you finally get accountability in your estimation?
Well, I'm going to produce a list to the chairman of the Oversight Committee, James Comer out of Kentucky, of all the alleged predators, because they need to be invited to the Oversight Committee. And if they won't show up, we need to subpoena them. And if the DOJ won't do the job of investigating and putting people in jail, then the House Oversight Committee should. And there's bipartisan support for bringing people in. I'm the reason that Bill Gates is going to be asked and invited to come speak to Oversight. If he doesn't show up, he will be subpoenaed per the chairman of the Oversight Committee. But we should be doing that with every single person who may be a predator, may be a potential child predator specifically. I want to bring them before the committee, because right now the American people in the heartland and everywhere, middle class, knows that there is a two-class system of justice. If you are rich, powerful, or from Hollywood, you can do anything you want in the world. When you're just an American, you don't get that. So they got to go to jail.
Well, you say jail. British police, as you know, now examining that the former Prince Andrew sent confidential trade reports to Epstein, specifically from a 2012 tour of Asia. Have you and your colleagues considered collaborating with foreign law enforcement as well? I know that the British Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, is saying he wants the former prince to go testify before you and others in Congress. You just mentioned Bill Gates. Do you think that will happen, one? And two, you mentioned the DOJ a moment ago, and I can't let it pass that obviously, as you know better than I, DOJ is not run by Joe Biden and Merrick Garland anymore. Are you frustrated with Pam Bondi and others inside the administration?
I'm frustrated when I see redacted documents that protect predators and not victims. And that's what's going on here. What it appears to be people who are famous, former secretaries, et cetera, who were in the files, that information is redacted from the American people. The American people have a right to know who was hanging out with and socializing with a convicted pedophile and why, and who in the government, Republican or Democrat, who covered it up. Well, I want to talk to Keir Starmer. I didn't realize he wanted to have former Prince Andrew interviewed by the House Oversight Committee. I'm all for it. And we'll be reaching out to figure out if that's possible, how that might even work. I'm not even sure, but we should welcome it. And if England, the UK, the United Kingdom wants to work with us to making that happen, I'm all for it. I'm sure King Charles has a thing to say or two about that.
Yeah, he might. Absolutely. Keir Starmer's been making comments about testimony in trying to save his own political life, as you know, because the prime minister and that entire government may go down over this and other matters. Moving on to other.
Look what they've allowed to happen to little girls in the UK, right? Preteens raped by the immigrants in England, and they go to jail if they defend themselves. It's disgusting.
Yeah, and then they put people in jail for a meme or something on social media, and people need to be held accountable. You're right. I didn't mean to interrupt. I want to get to Congress, other business before it. I started at the top about this ad from ICE and standing up for patriots of all races, all colors, all creeds, all backgrounds, who are being targeted, these ICE agents. The Democrats are again threatening at least a partial government shutdown. I think the funding on some of this Homeland Security money it runs out at the end of the week. Your thoughts on whether or not we're going to keep this government open and make sure the men and women who are trying to enforce the law get the money they need?
50-50 chance whether or not the government stays open. I hope that we stay open. I pray that we stay open, that we do the work that's necessary this week to keep it open. But I don't know if you saw the video a week or two ago of the younger African-American ICE agent who was called the N-word by some leftist protesters. I mean, these are white, black, and brown Americans who want to keep their fellow countrymen and countrywomen safe. And they are literally doing the work, and their lives are in danger every single day. And they are yelled at with racist remarks. This young black man who's working really hard to be called the N-word like that by the left. It's really disgusting, and I praise him. He's one of the bravest ICE agents I've seen so far on some of these videos.
Absolutely. Last thing, you mentioned the issue of race. All these Democrats like Chuck Schumer trying to block the SAVE Act, which would simply require voter ID in this country, as you know, and calling it Jim Crow 2.0, and it's somehow racist to get people to show a photo ID as if black and brown people in this country don't have a driver's license or don't have a passport. That seems racist to me, number one. And number two, this is coming before you. Speaker Mike Johnson gets credit for bringing this up, as I understand it, for a vote, the SAVE Act. Is it going to pass? Are all your Republican colleagues on board? You know, what do you think happens next?
It is being trimmed down and amended right now. And actually, I have an amendment on the SAVE Act this week in the House that would require it to be implemented by the November election. There's no time to waste here. And it is racist to say that blacks don't have the means or capability or ability to get an ID. But the truth is, blacks have IDs just like white Americans, and they also vote at the same rate or percentage of the population as whites and other populations do. So there's no infringement here. No one's trying to prevent certain populations from voting. We want every American citizen to be able to vote. Not illegals, though. You have to be an American citizen, regardless of your skin color.
I hear it loud and clear. Congresswoman Nancy Mace, we hope you'll come back after you get a look at those unredacted files, Epstein files. Thank you, ma'am.
Great, thank you.